Hello, my beautiful earthling peeps out there. Here's another video for you today. This video, I'm going to talk about what I believe intuitively, and not just me. I think others in the community feel this, but I also feel this intuitively. It's about, if you haven't heard, there's been discussion about the reveal. The reveal being the ETs making their presence known globally. Now, there is talk that there is more of private reveal taking place, and I believe both are true. So what I think is happening right now, in our lifetime anyways, is more private reveal, where more and more people, and if you notice when I'm saying this, there are more people now than ever who are starting to speak up and talk about their experiences, and I think that's just so wonderful. You know, don't you think? It's been long due for this to happen. We've been, labeled that if we do this, we're crazy, or we're, they want to hush you up or scare you in some kind of way that, you can't talk about any experiences involving extraterrestrials. And I'm so happy to see people coming together in this. The world right now, it is a mess, but thank God there are a lot of people who are starting to wake up to what's going on and realizing, hey, we got to have empathy. Hey, we've got to, we got to find a common ground. We got to find a way to work together. And I'm so glad to hear that, knowing and realizing that the only way we're going to have soul growth is when we start to have empathy for each other and stop this tearing each other apart. My gosh, no offense, but social media is good in some ways, but in other ways, it's terrible. I mean, we have just really gone at each other. In such a I've seen some mean and horrible things said, and in such a mean way, and it's so sad. So anyways, but getting back to what I'm talking about here is that I feel the reveal, if we can ever get to the point where we can have a global reveal, I don't know if it's going to be in my lifetime. I'm hoping, but I can tell you that I feel intuitively, and I know I'm not the only one, the first to come along will be like the Pleiadians and the Octarians, and that, I think that's the ones that, and I'm not sure if the Octarians are I don't know. There's so many races out there, but I know like the Pleiadians, the Nordics, all that, I think will be like the first ones. Why? Because there'll be a lot of people who, if right off the bat we had, say, some of the less looking human ETs coming and making their appearance with all the fear-based stuff that we have out there with the movies and everything else, you're going to have people who are going to panic. Even though there is many of us out there trying to normalize things, and that you're still going to have a lot of people who are going to panic, okay? Because they're used to seeing other human beings, right? With, anything that's not to our level of understanding or human intelligence, and that, animals and that, we don't, unless we're like in the woods or something by ourselves and we're with a bear that comes at us, but for the most part, it's pretty normalized to see like a bear or a tiger or something like that. But when people know that there is something that's more advanced than they are, and it doesn't look anything like them, well, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be kind of afraid of that too. So my take with all this is that I feel that to start off with, I think we're going to have more of the human appearing ETs, which will be like the Pleiadians and the Nordics and all that will look more like us, and they will try and educate us and prepare us, and that, so that some of the more non-human looking ETs will come through. then I think we're gonna probably get down to where we're gonna have like the grays and stuff, and later maybe the insectoids. You got the quadriloids, and the quadriloids look, you know, I believe there's good and bad in every race, because you'll have people say, oh my gosh, reptilians, oh my gosh. You know, I think even with reptilians, there's good and there's bad, you know. Yes, there's a lot that are bad, but I don't know if it's, you know, Aurora brought up a good point, and that is, maybe it's perhaps, though, that why we come across so many negative ones is that the good ones are just haven't come here, okay? Because they don't want to be a part of any dark negative group, you know, or rogue group, we should say, coming along and wanting to be the bullies. So that to me was a very interesting way to look at things, and makes a lot of sense to me. So, but that's what I think. And like the quadriloids, they were in like was it I think, yeah, in Independence Day and that. And but I've had my own involvement with my astral projection and seeing quadriloids and that, and the ones I came across were benevolent. So again, though, like in my previous video, I think it has a lot to do too with what I am going to allow in my space. If they are not benevolent, they have to go. And so for the most part, I send out that loving, beautiful vibration energy out there, so that that's what I have reflected back to me. If I'm somebody and I'm, you know, angry at this, angry at that, and that, well then, yeah, I stand a chance to have something that's maybe not so much for the benefit of the good of humanity that might want to come around. So yeah, reality is what you make it, a lot of it. So I mean, there are things that are put in our paths that obviously we don't plan for, that may be something even traumatic, and that it all depends on what we agree to and with our our contracts. So but anyways, that's my video, and just sending love, light, and peace, and thank you guys. Bye.